Okay, Jasmine here with Sweet Whiskers. We are going to do a DIY cat toy video. So this is the one we're going to make today. This is just a paper towel tube. This can also be scaled down to a toilet paper tube. But essentially, this is just stuffed with catnip and a little paper towel, and the cuts are made at the right places so that we can stop it from falling out easily. So let's get started. First, you want to take just a paper towel tube. Make sure that you've wiped off any glue or adhesive that has been on there. There are a few brands that don't use it or don't use much of it, or it's easy to slide off, so might hunt those down, see what you use. But just take a pair of scissors and begin making cuts up the tube as far up you want to go, but usually one scissor length is good. As narrow or as wide as you think your cat would prefer. Most cats like more narrow. So now that we have both ends, you can splay them. This is what it will look like. Okay, so the way we get the paper towel from keeping it from sliding out, or balls, if you're going to use balls in there either. I'll show you that little toy. Anything with a jingle in it is great too, but you're almost to the point of flattening it. Not quite, but you're going to do little triangle cuts, almost like a little Christmas tree branch. One of those cartoons. And then you're going to rotate it and do the opposite side. And instead of going directly opposite of it, I kind of scale it off just a bit, so that they're not quite even. I'm going to add a fourth one up here. And then if you would like to make it considerably harder, if your cat's getting it and understanding how it works and you want to ramp up the difficulty level, you can create even more on the opposite corners. And since this cat has seen this multiple times, okay. So now we have in 4 different rows these triangle or beak-like cuts, okay? So we'll set that aside. Take a sheet of paper towel. You can also, well, this is a part where we can substitute this part but for the balls, but we'll do the ball one first and then we'll do the other one. We're taking the paper towel. We just take a little bit of catnip, not much, does not take a bunch, and kind of put it in these a few sections of it. You can do as many or as little as you'd like, or you can even skip the paper towels. The catnip just comes out really easily. So, and then we kind of just loosely crumble. It's just kind of tucked into the center, and stuff it in to one of the ends. And you can use your your scissors. Sorry guys, I'm a groomer. Shears. And kind of jam it in there so that it's down at the bottom. So it's closer to about right here. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and loosely crumble this one. If a little catnip falls out, it's not a big deal. And tuck that one in there too. And then the last little strip. That one's a little tighter because it's so much smaller. Okay. And then you want to push in all the little beaks all around, okay? So all these little beaks are essentially pinning in your paper towels so they're not going to easily shift out of place. And makes it much, much harder for the cat to get treats or paper towel wads or anything that you have in here, okay? So then splay your ends, and boom, there you go. This is a very fun toy for a lot of cats. It's cheap. Really, all that you're buying, and I buy a big tub of it because I do see so many cats here of catnip, and but most people can get catnip fairly cheap, and that's really your most expense. Now, some people don't like letting their cats have access to paper towels or tissue paper for various reasons, safety, health. You know, always watch your cat when they're playing with any kind of a toy. But that is one version of it. All right, so the next version of it, we're going to go through and we're going to do, again, we're making this one very hard. This one is the ball version. So I'm going to go ahead and just skip right to multiple cuts. And making sure you're offsetting so you don't cut into the next line. Some of these are rather large beak cuts, so gotta be careful there. But with the ball one, you want one side to be large so they poke in. Okay. And then I typically go ahead and splay one side. and put in any kind of a plastic jingly ball with a bell or something like that in there. And I like to make sure that they're separated, one on each end. Or you can just do a single one and bat it around. That's fine too. And then tuck in your, we'll just do one at a time here. The ball's right there. Tuck in at least one of your sides. And if you don't want as many cuts so that the ball freely moves more, that's fine. But we've essentially got the ball located right there. And then we're going to go ahead and put the second ball in and pin it with the next little beak cuts. These little triangle cuts really help keep it located. Then you splay your ends. And it looks like I didn't need some of the cuts, so that's good. And then when they bat this around, it makes noise, and the balls will shoot out once they eventually figure it out. If you really want to tempt them with it, it's a new toy, you can throw a little bit of catnip in there. It's going to easily fall out, but they'll get excited about it. So there you go. Those are very easy, quick, cheap toys that you can do. It makes for very fun times here at the cat shop. So good luck. Do your DIYs at home. Send me pictures, or if you have any other fun ideas for DIY toys, let me know and I'll do another video on them. Other than that, you guys have a cat-tastic day.